right. What is up? What is up? My name's St. Kramer. I'm with Will, Peppa MD, and Brian the Grizzly. We are the Spoiler Kings. What is up, guys? How you guys been? How's your weekend? How's Easter?
Very fulfilling. A lot of food.
Yeah.
Same. Had some good food. Spent time with family. Always a blast.
Yeah.
How was yours?
Real quick.
Yeah, it was
pretty good. Nothing. A lot of food. Same like you said. A lot of food. But yeah, it was pretty good. It was good. Some small with the in-laws. Sorry, I'm trying to get everything situated here. Gotta share it to like everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick. What was that? What's that group called, Will, that we're in? That movie one?
There's movie reviews, then there's movie reviews and recommendations. There's a few. Why is my computer crapping out? There's movie reviews and recommendations, movie talk and reviews. That's about it. I'm in 3.
Okay. I think I'm just in that one.
Okay.
We got.
Shout out to all the cool people there.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, man. So we got a bunch of stuff we're gonna do. We are gonna watch the new Thor trailer for sure. That came out.
That's the most important thing. Let's get that out.
You called it on Thursday. You called it. You're like, it's Monday. It's coming. And sure enough, Monday morning.
In my bones. I was like, yeah, had to be happening. When it came out, dude, I was like, they could have thrown anything on the screen. I've been like, I can't believe it. It was so good because I just been anticipating so long, and then it was actually good. And Ty Waititi, whatever his name is, it's hilarious. I feel like it's gonna be a giant punchline no matter what we do. Like, it's just gonna be, no matter what, this hilarious thing, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. So we're gonna watch that and then talk a little bit about it, and then we're gonna get to the big box office movie from the weekend, The Secrets of Dumbledore, Fantastic Beasts, third one, Secrets, quote unquote. Yeah, because we'll get into that a little later. Yeah, yeah. It was Harry Potter, or spin-off of Harry Potter versus Sonic. So guess who won?
So got all the rings.
Yeah, exactly. Got all the rings. But you guys want to go right into the trailer?
I've been waiting all my life for this moment. So yeah.
Your whole life. All right, so let's watch this new trailer that just came out today, like, I don't know, 12 hours ago at this point. The new Thor Love and Thunder trailer. I don't know about you guys, I've seen this maybe at least a dozen times, like once an hour.
I'm almost on number 15. Yeah. I was like, you guys so good. Go to the next person.
Yeah, it's so good. All right, so let's watch it. Even this part. Yeah.
Old school costume is so awesome.
Now they're but humble tools for peace. I need to figure out exactly who I am.
The music just
so
awesome. I want to choose my own path. Live in the moment. My superheroing days are over.
You've got a smile that it seems to me reminds me of childhood.
Oh, we're for sure getting copyright claimed. If not from Marvel, from Guns N' Roses.
You saw who that was, right?
Yeah, Zeus.
Russell Crowe. I was like, Russell Crowe?
Just look into the eyes of the people that you love. Just listening.
It's so good.
Dude, she's like
yeah.
5'1", 105 pounds. She looked jacked.
She did. She did. There's a picture of like her whole kind of pull that up. Yeah, like right there.
Oh, man. She go to bench with me. Let's go.
Yeah, this was definitely the highlight of it. I mean, this is what people wanted to see, for sure.
Look how badass she looks, man. Come on.
Yeah.
What the hell?
The helmet. It's just the helmet, even the shattered, cracks in the hammer. Everything is so good. So good. But yeah, what initial first thoughts? What do you guys
I'll
think?
let Will first because
Me?
I'm
All right.
blow up.
Happy Monday. So
Happy Monday.
initially, I'm already seeing that Thor is kind of going hippie status. His war days are over. So that makes me a little bit sad, right? But he is passing the torch to what's her name? Lady Thor? Is that right?
Mighty Thor.
Mighty Thor? Okay. And that gets me pumped. Just seeing his progression throughout all the Marvel films, I've come to like really, really love him. And I'm not really a Thor fan, as bad as that sounds, right? I'm not like the biggest Thor fan, but really seeing him, put on the costume and go through the motions and all that, like I'm pretty proud. So that makes me really anticipated to see this movie when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of cool visuals from what I've seen in the trailer. So I can't wait to see the new Thor do her thing. But yeah, what about you, Brian? What you got?
All right, so there's a few things. Okay. First thing, he's hilarious. It doesn't matter what Chris Hemsworth, no matter what I see him in now, I see him as Thor. No matter what he's doing. If he's Men in Black, I'm like, hey, look, Thor cut his hair. Like, it doesn't matter what's going on. He is Thor now in my mind. Second thing, Russell Crowe being Zeus is off the chain. That is so great. And that gives me an idea that Gore the God Butcher, who is he going to kill? Hey, we know he's going to kill. All those Greek guys are all going to be dead. He's going to kill them all. It's going to be a sushi fest. Like, he's just going to cut everybody up. Like, it's going to be crazy. That's going to be awesome. Guardians make everything better. I don't know what it is. Just having the Guardians there makes everything better. The comedic timing is better. I love it. And then he's having that whole comment, and of course, Thor leans in like, "Oh yeah, me. I'm the one you want to look into my eyes, right? Like, no, my family. Get out of my face." And Jane looks just unbelievable, and it makes me wonder: is it our Jane? Because we opened the multiverse, right? So I still don't really know if it's our Jane that's becoming the Mighty Thor, or it's another Jane that's becoming the Mighty Thor. There was so much going on. It's just you don't know exactly what's happening, but that's what's so great about being a teaser trailer. It's kind of wetting your whistle, and there's so many unanswered questions. And this is what they should have been doing all this time. So, because now, in the next 3 months, I'm gonna be sitting there asking questions every day. Like, so I'm gonna wake up in the middle and like, man, I wonder why he's running. I wonder if he's going to become Thor oldest son. I want to know all these things, and what made her so worthy? Where are all these backstories? This is going to be huge. So I can't wait.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this one got me, in his new suit, and I don't know what's going on here. Like, is he opening the Bifrost? Like, I've watched it so many times to kind of break down different parts of it, The trailer definitely, for me, it seemed like it was bouncing around
a lot,
because like it seemed like Will said, like he gave up the superhero thing, he gave up fighting, but obviously he's Thor, so he's gonna get sucked back in. you know,
I think that was the joke.
Yeah. I don't think it was a joke. I think he was trying to like legit maybe figure it out, but you're made to do this. You know what I mean? It's like you can't like you're like, oh, what do I need to do with my life? Well, the thing that you're made to do, you know, is like kick people's ass, you know, and rule. But yeah, I mean, it was super cool, a lot of fun stuff, great visuals. Holy crap, the whole thing just looked gorgeous. The soundtrack for it, I thought was just a very I did not expect Guns N' Roses. like and then he opened his eyes and it drops and I was like, damn, it's just so it fit so well. Even like something like this I shared on our Facebook group. Link in description if you want to join. So this down here is from the movie, and this up here is from the comic. And I mean, even the bloodlines are exactly the same, like everything from this beast. And up here, I know you really can't see it, but he said, he says, I know this god. So that was a god. And, and he's like, yeah, last time we saw was only 100 years ago, blah, blah, blah. So I think a lot of people are like, oh, he killed him, like he fought or something. But in the comic, it says like, that's a god that is dead.
From gore.
So, yeah, it gives you a little like that little like sense, if you know what that is, then you know what's coming. And part of me kind of wishes this is the only trailer. Like, I'm good with this.
Yeah,
I'm good with this. No, we're gonna. Yeah,
I think they had to do this one because they're going to release one right when Doctor Strange is doing that whole thing. That's why I have to be. The movie starts at 8. I have to be in my seat at 7:30 because I don't want to miss not a second of anything. Everything's gonna be so good. I can feel it.
Yeah. I mean, just the movie poster, everything about this, it just looks so good. Like the training montage where he's like, doing the heavy ropes with the chains and he has the trucker hat and stuff. Remember like over the top kind of thing, just like old school Rocky vibes.
It's so funny, I just do the ropes, and that is like one of the hardest workouts. Doing it for 30 seconds, almost to fall off. He's doing it with chains. I'm like, what? Not just small chains, the big chains. I'm like, all right, come on, man, killing me. But
Zeus was super cool. You obviously you don't see it's Russell Crowe, but if you've been following the news, it's Russell Crowe. Yeah. You can kind of see the side of his face. But I mean, if you're watching what's going right now on MCU, they're talking about a bunch of other gods. They're talking about Egyptian gods, and those gods are already being linked to Black Panther and the Black Panther god. So there's a lot of god talking.
Hey, but which goes right to Kang the Conqueror. So that's why something I've been noticing. Kang the Conqueror has been little tidbits have been all over the place. Because he's a part of ancient Egypt, all their gods.
Yeah. So this might be a perfect opportunity for King to kind of slide in. Like, well, all these gods are gone because somebody killed them. So let me ease on in and fill the void. I don't know, but yeah. So now we got Greek gods, we got Norse mythology gods, and Egyptian gods. So. And there's if they don't introduce Hercules in this, I would be surprised. I think that's an easy way to introduce Hercules.
No, I honestly I feel like Hercules is going to be the first god that dies. Like they'll be like the mighty Hercules, and then he's just going to come. The sword's going to come out of nowhere, like chop his head off. They're like, oh, nuts.
Because I can see them because he's a comic book character in Marvel. I can see him like Zeus dying and Hercules is like he wants revenge, so that's an easy like Hercules Disney Plus show, so
that's a good one. I like that.
But
I feel like he's saying I'm not a hero anymore, and like the opening scenes he's going driving around, flying around with the Guardians of the Galaxy, killing everything. And he's like, I'm not even a hero no more. And then as he's chopping up monsters like left and right, he's like, oh, I wish I could be a hero again. Like, I think it's like a big punchline. Like he's saying it tongue in cheek. Like for him, he's not being anything, but to them, he's like the best ever. And Peter Quill's looking at him like, where the hell can we drop you off, bro? Take it off my team.
I saw it the other way around where where like there's the part where he after he's training, he unloads his like jacket here, and like so I wonder if like he becomes fit again and does all the hero stuff, and then it becomes boring, you know, and he's like, you know, I don't want to be a hero no more. There's nothing to do. It's boring, you know. So
I think we're
I mean,
saying
he's
some of the things, but I feel like he's just going to say, "This is not hero work. This is just easy.
yeah,
This is
yeah,
nothing.
yeah,
Where's Thanos?
Yeah. yeah.
Give me Thanos. This is nothing."
I mean, yeah. I mean, he's a god dealing with mortal problems. But yeah, there's Nebula right here. Peter's right there. You got Groot, you know, looks about the same. And then Rocket over here.
Yeah, no Gamora.
No Gamora was shown in this one, which I'm not really surprised. And no Gore, the God Butcher. They're keeping Christian Bale locked up still. So yeah, number 1 on trending, which is not a surprise.
Yeah, obviously. This is amazing. I can't wait to see this. This has got me more, you know what? This got me more hyped up for Doctor Strange. I can't wait now. Even more. Like, I'm counting the days.
Right there, you have 14.5 million views in about 12 hours. It came out around 12 hours ago. So
20,000 came from you guys. Nah.
I was just like,
right? Yeah. See that
Easy.
49 right there? That's just me. Yeah. But oh man. So anything else? July 8th. July 8th, we get to see it.
Well, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you think that Jane will be a better or stronger Thor than original?
I don't know. I haven't read too much of that comic book run when she becomes the Thor, but
she's a great hero. I think she's going to be a great hero because Thor is not really a good hero because he's not really a good guy. He's full of himself and all that stuff, and she's going to be a great hero. But Thor is going to, if he becomes Thor Odin's son, that's going to be, I mean, that's God level. That's the top tier Thor. Like there's like nowhere else you could go, but you know, from there.
Yeah.
So if he does become that, then he's the most powerful of all the guys. Then, so we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. But I can see her being pretty badass.
She's gonna be.
I mean, in the comic book, in the comic book, after she stops being Thor, they make her a Valkyrie. Because she's that badass. So she kind of becomes like she still is in the picture with like powers and stuff. That's as far as I know, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're gonna follow it completely. You know, in the comic book, she has cancer, I believe, and is dying from cancer, and you know, she becomes worthy of the hammer and stuff like that. But you know, that's a cool storyline. I don't know how close they're gonna follow that, but we'll see. You know, I just like it's all shattered and everything still, and how did that happen?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Wasn't it put back together before? So what happened? He went back in time and got one, but that wasn't shattered. Unless this is a different one.
Well, Captain America returned that one. He returned the good one back to.
Oh, I didn't know he returned the hammer. I thought he just returned the gemstones and.
And then he had the hammer too, the hammer and the shield and the suitcase.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I mean, this might be a whole different reality.
Like it's gonna be the one that what's called it shattered.
Yeah. It could be
shattered and comes back together because she deserves it that much and flies to her hand. And then she has
You know. Oh, one thing we didn't even talk about was actual Valkyrie.
Yeah. Queen Valkyrie.
Yeah. Over here, look, you see you got what's his name? Not Korg, the other guy. I can't think of it. Meek.
Yeah.
He's over here like in a suit, which is funny. So so she looks kind of bored, you know, at some kind of like UN meeting or something like that.
In the gymnasium.
An energy conference? Something energy conference. I don't know. Yeah. So that's energy name too. Yeah, I can't. Oh man, I can't wait. It's gonna be pretty cool. A lot of stories going on in this one, and it's gonna be really interesting. And like, I love Taika. I think that he's doing stuff so well right now. He just finished with the Our Flag Means Death, which was great, and then right with this one, I don't know. I don't know how it could fail.
I mean, it takes a great director to be able to save where Thor was. I mean, have you ever? I sometimes just watch Dark World just to remember how far we've come. Sometimes you just want to look about how bad it
Torture
was.
yourself.
Yeah, you try to say like, can DC could get out of their own way, and you go see Thor: Dark World, and you say, if anyone could survive from that, DC can make it too. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say sometimes. It's like they survived that, so come on, you can make it.
Yeah. Thor 1 and 2.
Oh my gosh.
It went bad to worse. So cool. Anything else?
Yeah.
What you got?
You guys think we're gonna see Loki?
Ooh, good question. What do you think, Will?
I don't think so. Although I feel like passing the torch to the new Thor doesn't require telling any more story about Loki. Because he was more tied in with original Thor and being his fake brother and whatnot. So I don't think we'll see him. Didn't get a glimpse of him in the trailer, so I don't think so.
I can see him doing a post credit. I don't think he's going to be in the main movie. I don't think there's a need for him. But I could see it being post credit. Because this movie is going to be after Doctor Strange, so we're already going to get a whole multiverse of madness. And then Loki's already dealing with multiverses. And I can see it leading into Loki season 2 or Thor 5. So I could see something like that going down, but not in the main story. It's gonna be a post credit, I think.
You don't think it could do something with Kang the Conqueror and Loki coming from the TVA? Thor, I need your help. You say that in credit, like Thor, I need your help. Loki, and then he just goes away.
The door pops up and
as Thor becomes old God, oldest son. Thor, oldest son, like the most powerful being in the universe, and Loki comes to get some. I mean, and kind of the reason I asked that is because you see the old school Thor, you see how they went old school Loki with that. I feel like they are still training to be together.
I think so. Okay. Or he could be getting a bunch of Thors. We already saw Frog Thor. Frog. So he goes through the portal, and Loki walks out, and then like 15 different versions of Thor walk out. So they could do something like that. But I think it'll be post credit scene though. I think it'll be post credits.
Good call.
Cool. Yeah, so we'll definitely, and I am for sure, as soon as tickets come out, I'm reserving a theater for us. Like, we'll figure it out later. I'm reserving a theater.
I'm with
yeah. So that's what my girlfriend even says. She goes, just get it, and then we'll figure it out later.
I was like, Zell, here you go.
Yeah.
We'll figure this out.
Yeah. So for sure, when tickets go on sale, we're gonna get a private theater for this one. But cool, man. Yeah, thanks if you're watching our replay, thanks for watching. If you're watching live, we're going to talk about a movie and review, Secrets of Dumbledore. So let's get into it. All right. Let me do a little intro. Make sure I got that. All right, so welcome to Spoiler Kings. So if you're watching on live, we just did a trailer. If you're watching on replay, go check out our trailer reaction of the Thor: Love and Thunder. But we're gonna do the big box office, box office, like Brian said earlier, of the movie that came out, the new Fantastic Beasts, Secrets of Dumbledore. This is the third installment of this franchise, the spin-off franchise, a prequel. It's like 60 something years before. 65. I forgot we did the
Yeah,
math.
it's 1935 going to 2020. So yeah, this is still like 85 years away from
Yeah. Well, it's
or,
like
or it's 65 years away from Harry Potter's first movie.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So so we're gonna talk about it. We'll give you guys what we like, what we disliked, and then we'll give you official ratings, see what it's on Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that. But we'll start off with watching the trailer, and then Brian is gonna give us a little rundown of what this movie's about.
Should I do it while the trailer's running?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You got it.
All right. Albus Dumbledore assigns Newt and his allies with a mission related to the rising power of Grindelwald. Professor Albus Dumbledore knows the powerful dark wizard Grindelwald is moving to seize control of the wizarding world. Unable to stop him alone because he has a blood thing we could talk about a little later. He entrusts magic zoologist Newt Scamander to lead a team of wizards, witches, and a brave muggle Baker, I don't know why, on a dangerous mission where they encounter old and new beasts to clash with Grindelwald's growing legion of followers. But with the stakes so high, how can Dumbledore remain on the sidelines? Maybe he won't have to.
Yeah. So we'll finish watching the trailer. We'll talk a little bit about it. Yeah, so this is the third one. How'd you guys like the first two before we get into the third one here? Because this one it just goes right into it.
The first one was good. The second one was crap.
I agree. The first one was okay. I wouldn't even give it as good. I said it was okay. The second one was horrible though. The part with the crabs was kind of funny. I like that. What about you, Will? How'd you like the first one and second one? Oh wait, we can't hear you, buddy.
I can't hear you, Will.
Got you. So the first one was actually okay for me. I did like it because it really related to the freaking title, Fantastic Beasts, and where to find them. I feel like with these next ones, they don't really tie too much into Fantastic Beasts. They kind of forcefully, in my opinion, kind of incorporate the beasts. But the storyline made more sense first time around. The second movie, really, really dragged for me. I did like Johnny Depp, his presence as a bad guy. Of course, in this new one, Johnny Depp is no longer playing Grindelwald.
Yeah, no, it's so weird.
Yeah, right. And so, just I don't know, storyline. You kind of have to watch the second one to know what's going on for this one. So you have to see it, even though I wouldn't want to.
You know why I wanted to scream every time I watched the second one? Don't care, because I didn't care about hardly any of the characters. It just didn't seem like I should care about them.
No Harry Potter. No Harry Potter, man.
I mean, that's basically it.
Love. That's it.
You know,
I was just a Jenny. Just give me Jenny. She's not even in the movie. She's not even that important. Throw her in there. I've been okay.
Oh yeah. So I was looking for his name. I couldn't think of his name. Was Mads Mikkelsen. It replaced Johnny Depp and as Grindelwald, which in my opinion, I liked him as Grindelwald. He should have been it from the beginning. Yep. Because you need somebody opposite of Dumbledore. Johnny Depp isn't that. Colin Farrell isn't that either. You needed somebody on that same kind of speech level. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want Edward Scissorhands and I don't want the Penguin. You know what I mean? Like, I need somebody on that same level of speaking. You know, and Jude Law's a pretty good actor. I think he's pretty good. And Mads Mikkelsen just has that evil, but it's like an evil version of Dumbledore. And it was that was one of the things I liked a lot. Was like, I'm like, damn man, they should have had him from the start.
It made better. Even romantically, it made more sense. Like, you see Johnny Depp, you like, what? Like, I'm not, I don't know how things work out, but just I don't see them as a couple. That doesn't seem like something that a couple of guys just don't seem right. Johnny Depp that's not him. He's not the guy. But Mikkelsen, I think that's a good combination. It makes sense. They seem deeper. You know what I'm saying? Like someone who can want power and not just being an actor, but playing
Mhm.
playing a part, but just actually could believe and fall into a movie with that. So
Yeah. I don't know, Will, you said you like Johnny Depp, which I didn't mind him in the second one.
So I
But-
liked him the way he played the character, but actually tying the character, how Brian's saying his chemistry and kind of his counterpart to Dumbledore. Yeah, Johnny Depp does not counter that at all. He just plays a good presence for a bad guy. That's what I thought he kind of did well. But for the storyline itself, nah, that's why it dragged for the for the second one. Even Colin Farrell's character did a better part trying to seem bad but tie into Dumbledore, but nah. Mickelson, he for me he lacked emotion. I feel like he could have been more emotional. His eyes were really closed off. He didn't really show off the wonky eye too much, which is not really important. But I just feel like if he would have showed a little bit more emotion in his villainry, is that a word? I don't know. I feel like he would have knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, for me, it was kind of the opposite. I felt like him being so calm and just monotone all the time, what made it more sinister. Like, oh, you're the psychotic bad guy, the one who like goes, I'm gonna kill you. Instead of like going crazy. It's like, and the shit he said too, like to people, he goes, oh, no, I don't want to ruin it, but there's a part he does something pretty messed up to one of the other wizards. And he goes, yeah, well, let's get rid of it. I was like, what? I was like, what? Wait, you're doing that's messed up, dude. And he just did it without even, and right in the beginning with him and the shilling, and stuff like that. Like everything he did was very evil, but he did it very like his face didn't change. That's what I liked about it, was it's like, I'm gonna drink this tea with the same face, and I'm gonna go do this really messed up thing with the same face. And it's like, damn, dude, you are messed up in the head.
He's like, kill him.
Yeah.
Oh, have my Earl Grey.
Yeah.
That's a good call. I feel like evilness comes from when it's not just something you're playing or just being evil, like it's being an emotion or anything like that, but when it's who you are. And that's what it felt like that's just who he was. He's just an evil, power hungry person, and there's nothing you're going to be able to stop him from doing. And there's nothing he won't do because it's who he is. There's nothing like he doesn't see it's good or bad. He just sees, matter of fact, this is what it is. And those are the scariest people. When you talk about, was it Jack Nicholson? Nicholson. Say when you have those characters are just very monotone, but very exact.
Yeah,
I'm going to do this. This is what it is. Nothing about it. It's scary. It's just
yeah. It doesn't leave it like screaming in your face. Yeah, it's more like this. Yeah, like sociopath, psycho person. But I really enjoyed him. That was definitely one of the main things. What else did you guys like about this movie? I don't know.
The callbacks, a lot of the callbacks to Harry Potter. Even they'll be on the train when they're hatching their plan and all stuff. I think that was one of the biggest things that made Harry Potter what it was. I mean, the traveling by train, these magical trains, seeing all these magical things. That callback just seemed really awesome, and seeing the imagery and just how beautiful it was.
Yeah, always saying the Harry Potter theme, which they did this one. I don't really even remember them doing
at all.
The main Harry Potter theme in the first
music.
Two.
No, not really.
I don't remember at all.
The first two. Yeah, I mean it's definitely a very iconic like sound. So but I don't know. What about you, Will? What were some other things you liked?
I like how they kind of reference, like how Brian said, the callbacks to the Sorcerer's Stone's creator. I forget his name. Nicholas Flamel. I thought it was cool they brought him. Like what makes me look forward to the whole Harry Potter universe or just Wizard and Witches universe is, big characters, then and now. And so throwing him in the mix was something cool. They showed like the mirror, I forget what it's called, but the mirror where you see what you want to see, whatever. I was like, cool. You know, it kept me engaged because it brought me back to things I loved in the past movies. I did like, what did I like? Some of the funny, awkward scenes. Like, I don't know why they include Jacob Kowalski, who's played by Dan Fogler. He's so awkward, and I know he's supposed to be like the comic relief, but he does have his funny moments. And I like the funny moments. Him being involved with all of this, you could take him out and you still have the same movie. So,
Yeah,
That's
So,
very
like-
true. It's very true.
like he's
Yeah.
just like the comic relief. He reminds me of like Abbott and Costello put together. You know, those two comedians. That's who he reminds me of. And one last thing I liked. That's about it, really. They showed more beasts, kind of stuff, and have them more incorporated into the actual plot and resolution of what's going on in the story without giving away too much. They had more of an impact on the story, so they
Mhm.
kind of really tied in the Fantastic Beasts part of the title.
Mhm.
But that's it for me. Ezra, yeah, that's for the good things. Yeah, I got to see.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah,
it's not good. So that's not gonna be the good one.
yeah. Well, how'd you guys feel about the way it looked? Because there were some parts of it that were like visually like really, really like really nice. You know, the beast right in the beginning, you know, they do the beast and then they do like some kind of I think it's in the trailer. Like some like hot air balloon beast that turned into like
Oh,
a
yeah.
flying beast thing. That was super cool. But I don't know if there was I mean there was one there were the beasts in there that were pretty cool, but I thought when they did do it, I thought they looked really well. You know, they didn't look like really crappy CGI. You know,
True.
but yeah, I thought you know, when at the end they're in that thing with the stairs, you know, all the cinematography I thought looked really, really, really cool. You know, but
Yeah, I'm with that. They brought back the fan favorite little pick, the little like green guy, and what's the other little weasel looking dude?
oh, the little platypus that steals gold.
Yeah, they brought
I
him.
don't remember. Yeah,
He's a cute fan favorite. I'm not crazy about them, but they were cute, and I'm glad they did bring them back because they're like, they're Newt's like right hand little creatures that help them out. You know, they can't use Dobby, so
Yeah.
they use these guys. Without saying much, they just, you don't have to say anything for those little guys, and they look all cute and, you know, really shine a light on the beast.
yeah.
I think that's what they did the best in this entire movie was they took you back to that world, and you believe the whole world of Harry Potter is epic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this, the world. I don't know if anyone went to Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, or anything. You're there. You feel enthralled. You're in that area. You're in that era. You feel that.
Mhm.
That's what did really good. It brings you into that world. Once again, you see like even the trick with the bricks. You know, tapping the bricks, you know, to open it up into Dagon Alley. Like
Yeah,
those things, they bring you to that world. That's what they did is amazing. I don't know everything else that you know is epic, but those things that bring you into the world when you see it, and you know this is Harry Potter. You know you want to go get your wand and your cloak, and you ready to go out there, you know, as almost 40-year-old men and with your little stupid glasses and go out there. That's what they did well. So, as far as the movie.
I agree. It was like the first two I felt like were missing the Harry Potter. Like it was missing like the stuff that like I know it's Harry Potter as a character, but I mean the originals are Harry Potter. You know what I mean? So it was like missing those things. Like you said, it was callbacks to like Hogwarts or this or that. Like all these other. Where this one would definitely kind of like made you feel like you're back in that world. You know, that wizarding world kind of thing.
Wand maker. I mean, just
Yeah.
all those little things. Like,
You know, yeah, all the little things, but I get they're trying to do their own thing. You know, I mean, they're the part where they're in, you know, the Great Hall, Hogwarts. You know, right here. So even right here, I think this is the actual part where he tells him he builds like a house or like a location, and Newt guesses the location. I forgot what it was called. And even Dumbledore's like, 5 points to Griff, or 5 points to Hufflepuff, because Newt was a Hufflepuff. He was 5 points to Hufflepuff, and because for guessing correctly, I was like, yes, like little teeny tiny things that like, I'm like, oh yeah, because I feel like that's like something where obviously it doesn't count because he's not in school anymore, but it's just like a cool callback to like the point keeping and and stuff like that, and and that he is Dumbledore is a professor and stuff like that. So yeah, but yeah, the callbacks were much needed. But
I gotta say one more thing that I do like. Like, before we get to the things we don't like, I loved insight into who Dumbledore was. More insight, because throughout the beginning of the movies, he was very mysterious, and then as we went along, we understood more about him. But then when we really learned about Dumbledore, was that Harry didn't know him at all. I think that was the huge thing, that Dumbledore is sitting there. I mean, what did he do? He's training Harry to fight, without telling Harry, "I'm training you to fight." Like, he's raising them to get to be slaughtered without telling me anything about them. So he's a secret guy, so we don't know a lot about him. So I like the fact that we get to see a little bit more about him. I wish we got more about him, but I feel like you start to understand his genius, his overall magical prowess, where it comes from, more about why he does what he does. I'm glad we know that.
Which is another thing. It's like, talk about characters I care about. And the first one was kind of cool because you just like all the beasts, like Will said. But then they had the whole Credence side plot in that one where I'm like, who is he? Like the whole time, even after the movie, when they even tell you who he is, I'm like, who is he? I'm like so confused. And the second one was just even worse, where I'm like, but you at least got Dumbledore in the second one. This one is like mostly about Dumbledore, and I was like, yes, talk about characters I care about. Like Newt wrote a book. It was literally like a couple sentences in like in the original movies. Everyone else, you really I don't care about. It's like, give me the story of Grindelwald versus Dumbledore, like, because I know how it ends because of Harry Potter, those movies, but I want that story. That's the story I want, and I feel like this finally started telling it, but it might have been the damage that might have already been done, kind of thing, So, well, I don't know. That being said, you guys want to get into some of the bad stuff?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The rest of the movie.
Yeah.
The rest of the movie.
Yeah. Why don't you go first, Will?
Sure. So back to what Tink was saying about Credence, right? Why do we care about Credence? That's like the main reason, or the main like thing that you want to ask when watching parts 2 and then this one, which is part 3, and you don't really see much of him. So it's for us to even care about him or even build any kind of character development, he misses on all the opportunities that he could have had if you included more lines for him, or including more story for him. So spoiler alert, just for part 2, you should have seen it by now. Credence is like a long lost child, brother to Albus Dumbledore. He's a Dumbledore himself. In part 2, we learned that while he was a baby, he got switched up with another baby, and he would have died, right? I'm sorry. Yeah, he would have died had he not gotten switched. So that gives you some like wah points for him, but really overall, we don't really care. I mean, Albus Dumbledore doesn't care about him. So why should we, right? If Albus Dumbledore is all great and powerful and he has like a heart of gold and he cares about wizards, he should have like welcomed him with open arms, right? He should have, but we don't see that at all.
But Dumbledore's a DICK.
That's in the Harry Potter series. And this one, this is before he shows off his dickery. But yeah. But like, I don't know, with Ezra Miller, I just we talked about this off screen. Brian mentioned that he kind of gives off like Snape vibes, and if they would have went that route, I think that would have been a way greater impact on the story. But instead, he was just like a more emo version of Batman, and that just was just crap. Like, oh, poor me, you know, like poor me. Which I know it sounds terrible. He's an orphan. He doesn't know anything about his own past, and you know it's sad. But tell me why I should care. You know, show me that in the movie, and we don't get that. So just I don't know. I didn't like his influence in the movie. The whole reason why he was kind of recruited by Grindelwald is because since him being a Dumbledore and having the potential to be super powerful, Grindelwald was going to use him to fight Albus Dumbledore, and we don't get that. So like all that in part 2, that reason why he was trying to recruit him, that goes out the window. So plot hole, you know, already there. Plot hole here, plot hole there. It's just so many times where the progression of the story just gets chopped and chopped and chopped, and it's just I don't know. So the plot for the movie for me is an opportunity or a fail. I feel like they could have done better. They could have incorporated, you know, more better origin stories. Maybe double down on kind of what Brian said. More double down on Albus Dumbledore's, you know, kind of progression and how he turns into the wizard that he was for Harry Potter. They could have done that. That wasn't really done well. They took out what's her name? She didn't have any scenes really from part 2. Tina, yeah.
Tina Goldstein.
I didn't care for her too much, but like she was like a kind of love interest and was something to make us care about Newt a little bit more. And because of things off screen, she said some stuff that was bad off screen. So her lines got cut like tremendously. You only see her at the end of the movie. And so they missed out on that opportunity. You said 2 scenes? Yeah, 2 scenes she had, really.
2 scenes. You know, one it was just like a look at her face, and then another one was like, yeah, she's had said a couple words. And then like, that's it. It's like, damn.
Yeah. Like, really? You punished her that bad? But another missed opportunity there. And then I don't know. There's a lot more stuff, but those are the things that really stood out to me. What about you, Brian? What really rubbed you the wrong way about this movie?
I felt once again, I said things I liked is that we got to see more about Albus Dumbledore. I felt like that should have been a lot more. You know, how can someone that's that type of wizard be tricked that easily? Or if you fall in love with someone, he's a very manipulative type of person. I mean, I was saying off screen, he doesn't tell you anything until he absolutely needs you. Until he absolutely needs an ally, that's what he's going to share. So how does that person have a blood what do they
blood pact?
Blood pact with someone that they know is that type of person? How did you get to that point? It just didn't make sense to me in the character development and what we know about Dumbledore. So if there is more to it, I felt like they should have given us more about him.
Yeah.
You know, like, because once again, there's few characters you really don't care about. Dumbledore is the guy. I would like to know more about Professor what's her name? Minerva. What is her name?
Yeah.
I would like to know about some of those professors, but I feel like the number one thing is you need to focus on Dumbledore and what makes him become Dumbledore. And I don't think we really got that. I mean, Grindelwald was okay. I told him I like, you know, him being very, you know, measured and everything, but he's not a great villain like Voldemort.
No.
Far from
You
it.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's part of what made Harry Potter so unbelievable, because the villain was out of worldly, you know, and was all powerful in all aspects. And I think that's missing. You know, you didn't feel that. Voldemort is like bringer of death. Like, it's like that's what the name is. I mean, it's unbelievable. And I don't think you don't feel that way. I mean, he's just a politician, it almost feels like. You know, he's ruthless, he's cutthroat, which I don't understand how he and Dumbledore are, work together or whatever, but I didn't feel evil. Just that's not what it was. And I think that if you play on those parts, you draw everyone in. People start to care about these other characters. And there's too much of not caring. Who cares? People were dying. I was like, who cares? Whatever. Man, that's messed up. All right, what's next? It's like that's the feeling it gives you. Gives you that like I don't care about these people. So
yeah, I'm right there. It's like you said, I just didn't care about anybody. Like, yeah, Grindelwald always had this big thing. Like he was the big bad guy that Dumbledore had to stop. And you heard the stories in original Harry Potter, like this and that. And I was like, okay, tell us about it. But instead, they're just kind of like it's all, I don't know. It's not being told right. Like I just feel like I'm not like satisfied with it. Like maybe Dumbledore became so closed because of Grindelwald, but like tell us that. Did their relationship somehow make him like kind of like, oh, you're the reason why I don't tell anybody secrets anymore, and stuff like that. But we don't get that explicitly. Like I don't know if we're supposed to infer that or just guess it or whatever, but yeah, it's just missing something. And all the other characters, and they have like a lot of cool characters, like Professor Hicks, I thought was really cool. And Dumbledore's brother, I was like, that's a whole can of worms you can get into. That's a whole nother can of worms that you can get into. And you never
even Ariana and
yeah. Oh, I mean,
I would be amazed about that. That whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because in this movie she's already dead, right? Because she has a thing. So it's like, but I could be wrong, because it's been a long time. But it's like Dumbledore and his brother, or Albus and Aberforth. They stopped talking because like they both blame Dumbledore or Albus for killing the sister. Albus, he blames himself and the brother blames him, and it was wind up being like a fight between Grindelwald and Dumbledore. But and he thought it was his, but then you find out later it wasn't. It was actually Grindelwald's like curse that hit her by accident or stuff like that. But I was like, there's all of that I want to know, like, details about. Give us that, like instead you're telling me about Jacob Kowalski, that's pastry guy. It's like, what the hell? Like, and I love Dan Fogler. Yeah, he's in some of my favorite movies. Like Balls of Fury. He was in that. Fanboys. He does really funny movies. This one, it's definitely one of his biggest ones he's ever done. But like you said, I just don't care about his character. Which it's like, why should I care about his character when there's Dumbledore and Grindelwald running around? Why do I care about this like pastry guy?
Smuggle pastry guy who give a lot to.
Unless you give him some big giant like twist at the end or something, I don't see it being worth it. Like I get in the first one because he was kind of important, with traversing the whole story, but now you should be past that. You should Dumbledore's in the story now. Move on to the good stuff. So yeah, and I just don't care about anybody. I really didn't care about Newt that much either in this one. He really wasn't in it that much. It really bounced around between him and Dumbledore a lot. But yeah, like Ezra Miller made no sense in this one, like at all. I just had no idea. Like 1 second he's trying to kill him, and the next second he's like, no, like he's my uncle or whatever the hell. It's like they're writing letters to each other in like glass and the foggy glass. I was like, what is going on? I'm like, what the fuck? It's like I didn't care. I just didn't care, and the whole time like trying to. Even the guy who barely talk, was it Yusuf Kuma? He was the guy that went to Grindelwald, I cared about his shit. You know, the whole his sister thing, you know, like I don't want to get into spoilers. I'm like, that man barely spoke any words in the whole movie, and I cared more about his story than I did about Jacob's story. You know, so
they should have took. Well, Jacob, I don't care about him at all. But Credence, he should have been related to Snape. That should have been what happened. And he's like the beginning of the line because he's an orphan. He should have been the beginning of the line of Snape, and how it kind of created Snape with Harry Potter, who basically was left to be an orphan. It would have tied their story together better. That's what it should have been. Yeah. It should have, the darkness, the confusion, his grandfather being an orphan and having to deal with certain things and learn the power and all that stuff, and that would have explained it a little better. And Slytherin, and understand how being brought into Slytherin, brought him to a family that he never knew, and then that's why he's able to be, told to do different things. Would have made more sense. I think that should have been the way they went. But yeah. The Dumbledore, I didn't care. I was like, oh well, if he doesn't care, why should I care?
Yeah, I mean, at least you could have got away with a lot more if you would have done something with like making him like Snape's grandfather, like you said, something along those lines. That would have been, you're able to get away with more. The books told a lot of the story than the movies between the Dumbledore family, and this is nowhere in there. So it's like you already told that story, not fully, but enough, where it's hard to fill something like this in, where Snape, you could easily like, oh yeah, he's Snape's grandfather. Like, okay, whatever, cool. It doesn't change the story that much. Where adding him and making him like a Dumbledore kind of really changes the whole dynamic between that family that you didn't know, so I don't know. Unless, I mean, but they already said why the brother, Dumbledore and his brother, don't talk is because of the sister.
Yep.
Are you going to change that? They don't talk because of Credence now, which makes no sense. So I'm like, you already said why they don't, talk. I don't know. I'm just kind of like.
And I thought that would be more interesting. His rise to power, Dumbledore's thirst for power. That would have been really interesting to see too. Like the thirst, like you start to see him, Dumbledore, turn dark and then give up the darkness. Well, I don't think we ever saw him turn go to that darkness part.
Yeah.
I think that would be really interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that's the story you should have told from the beginning of like Dumbledore and Grindelwald, falling in love, and then kind of like, going down a path that like he couldn't, follow, and then becoming enemies. That's the story I wanted. That's the one you should have started. Instead of you're like, hey, this one little thing where, a book that I mentioned in one of the other books, that the students all have to read. Yeah, let's expand on that. I was like, no one freaking cares. Like, come on, J.K. Rowling. Freaking. You're already ruining the damn universe enough as it is. Now you're doing this crap. So, all right. Anything else?
There's one thing that went nowhere. That they included a detail about Credence, or Ezra Miller's character, that he was suffering from some kind of like cancer thing he was gonna die soon. That went nowhere. I don't know if you guys remember that.
I don't even remember that.
It was really briefly discussed, and it made me seem like, oh, okay, maybe I should care about him more. And then that never got resolved. That never got talked about ever again. But he was supposedly dying from something, which is why I guess he wasn't going to be the guy to fight at the very end. But that went nowhere. That was wasted screen time that they could have used for other more important story. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, stuff like that I don't even remember. There's so much of the first two that I don't even remember because I only watched it like once, and I was like, I don't want to see this again. So so I don't know.
You guys said there's 3 more movies supposed to be made, 6 movies in all.
They planned for more, but I think they wrapped it up with this.
I mean, they might make one more, just to fully wrap it up.
Yeah,
because Dumbledore I don't know if I should ruin the book, because if you read the book, you already know what happens between Dumbledore and Grindelwald. But they need to finish that. They need to finish that because you already started it. You need
And
to
they
at
left
least
it open ended. Them just vanishing.
Yeah, poofing away. Cool. Let's get into our ratings real quick. So you want to let them know how we break it down? How we do it?
Yeah. So over here at the Nerd Huddle, us Spoiler Kings like to review movies a little bit differently. We don't use the 2 thumbs up, 2 thumbs down, the 5 stars, or any of that BS. We do our own cool way, which is, you see in the corner, it's either going to be a watch now, a watch later, or a watch never. So if you rate this movie a watch now, that means, oh my God, this movie was amazing. Top priority, go see it right away because it's just that good. A watch later means, movie was okay. You can put it on the back burner, maybe watch it when it comes out streaming. Wasn't the greatest. And then a watch never means don't give this movie any time of day because it was pure trash. Don't spend your coin towards it because it's just bad. Bad. So with that being said, who wants to go first with the ratings? Who wants to?
I'll go first.
Brian, go ahead. Yeah.
So it's definitely a later. It just drags too much. It's not enough of what I really want. They have the good concept, but they just don't deliver with it. But it's cool if I was watching at home, if I was, washing the dishes and watching that, cool. If I was vacuuming and watching that, cool. Like folding some clothes, that sounds really cool. But just in a movie theater, no, you probably shouldn't go spend your money. No. Matter of fact, I want to say, don't even use your own streaming service. Ask someone else for their password.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah. Go ahead, Will.
All right. So for Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore, I'm this close to giving it a watch never. Just so many missed opportunities, and it almost makes me want to hate the movie for what they could have done with Dumbledore, the name being in the movie, Dumbledore. You could have did so many things with that. But I'm going to also give it a really low later. It's almost a never. Just for the fact that they had great characters they could have used. They could have used Ezra Miller for a greater purpose. They missed. They cashed in on their Fantastic Beasts, making more of an impact with the movie. For the first one, they did a good job with that. Second one, really missed the opportunity. And then this one, they try to incorporate Fantastic Beasts. It's part of the name, right? So I'm going to give this movie for sure later, almost never. What about you, Tank?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. It's, I guess if you're a Harry Potter fan, you kind of are forced to see this just by curiosity. But I mean, I would say save it for later. I mean, this could definitely, if you're a Harry Potter fan, wait till this comes out on streaming, and then just watch it at home. It's not worth going to see it to the theaters. And if you're kind of just like casual Harry Potter fan, I wouldn't even bother. It was just like pointless is but yeah, it's for me, it's probably a way later. Like you can wait till this thing is.
If it was later, it's like, is it TNT later or is it like Netflix later? You sound like you said TNT later, like TBS. FX.
Yeah, you can wait till it's free on TV. Like it's exactly, TNT, TBS, whatever like plays it. Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, you can wait till then to see it because it's really it doesn't do anything for the Wizarding world. That's how I see it. Is that it like you don't watch this movie and be like, oh man, I want to go to Universal right now so bad. Like every one of the Harry Potter ones, I'm like, I want to go. I want to go back there and I want butterbeer and I want this, I want that, I want to try all this stuff. Like this one, I was just like, okay, whatever, so but yeah. But sorry, I got a cat in my way here. And then Oli came in and said, this is a later movie. It dragged out a bit, fell asleep a few times. Oh my God. Just like, and there's probably like some parts of the film where you could probably fall asleep and wake up and not miss anything. And I'm not even kidding. I'm like, there's probably like at least 2 spots where you can fall asleep, wake up and like, and you didn't even miss a beat. So I don't know. But Rotten Tomatoes, the tomato meter, the critics got 186 reviews and gave it a 48%. So that's considered rotten. But the audience got 2,500 verified users that scored it and gave it an 85%. So a pretty big difference. Yeah.
What?
That's if you love the Harry Potter world, you fall in love with the Harry Potter world. I told you they could throw crap on the screen, but oh man, look at that! I get to see that. Yeah.
I mean, and that's what a lot of these are like. Great addition to the Wizarding world, which it's not. Amazing. The new twist and classic HP music was phenomenal. Which, yeah, it's classic HP. Of course, you're gonna love. So he's like, I love the character development in these movies. Great expansion to the lore. Great and shocking from the start to finish. And those are all 5 stars. Different from the others, but still fun to watch. 5 stars. 4.5. I'm sorry. And then this one gave it 2.5. Disappointed, slow moving, and lacking content. Well, so I'm like, that's probably more right. I mean, this one gave it a 0.5 star. They said just awful. Script seemed to be written by a middle schooler. The epic fight scene extremely boring. JK needs to do better. Just a complete waste of money and time.
I feel like I think that's exactly what I was gonna say. It should have been 3 or 4 fight scenes that would have made this really interesting. Like if it would have been Credence fighting, Albus Dumbledore, that would have been a good one. It should have happened. You set something up for 2.
Well, they kind of
not really.
He shot the fire and he blocked it and did a reverse card on him.
All right. Well, okay. In that case, blah. It's like,
I mean, it wasn't as epic as the final one was pretty good. Like that one had a little bit more impact, But they did a thing that they always do.
That's happened. That's the problem. See, the thing when you have a duel, someone should go.
Yeah.
We have these are all-time great, sorcerers. I mean, you should have someone got to go.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how things should end. I mean, but I think that should have happened. More action should have been in it. It seemed like it was going to be an action-packed movie, and it was not.
Yeah. I think the final one, whenever they do the final one, that one's obviously going to have a big fight scene duel in it. This one, I mean, I didn't mind the big fight scene. This person said the epic fight scene was extremely boring. I don't know if it was extremely boring. I mean, the Credence and Dumbledore one was kind of like, like he shot fire and he's like, all right, I'm sending it back to you, and knocked him down. That was about it. The one at the end was entertaining, but it's the kind of the thing you see in Harry Potter already, where the 2 beams and then the middle kind of goes and it goes back, and I'm like, I've seen that already, with Voldemort and Harry Potter. So
no, the Voldemort and Dumbledore fight was epic when they're throwing glass shards and he's turning to sand, and like he has a fiery monster dragon and he's turning to water and he's wrapping on. Like, that is what you should. That type of stuff is what saves a movie like this, especially when you spend all this money. You should have had something like that.
Yeah. I don't know how you guys feel, but like the more I think about it, the more it reminds me of like Star Wars. So you have the original 3 Star Wars, episode 4, 5, 6, and then you have the prequels, and the prequels kind of remind me of this, where it's a lot of political driven. It's like, political like this person now in charge, and now they're voting for this person, the other person in charge, and then fighting scenes in between kind of stuff. But I don't know. I feel like that's what it's kind of getting to. I don't know.
I agree.
A lot of people still love the prequels, so
they're just wrong.
I gotta watch what I say. I have all the prequel haters coming after me.
Come after me. It's okay. You're wrong.
The prequels. I'm sorry. The prequels suck. There's maybe a handful of good scenes between 3 movies, but that's a whole nother conversation we can have. That's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, that's that. So we're all giving it laters, and then also the actual box office numbers. It was number one in the box office. It only made $43 million, which you're like, oh, that's not bad. It made number one. It's the lowest opening weekend for any of the Wizarding World films. So all the Harry Potters and all the Fantastic Beasts, this is the worst one that did.
And it was Easter weekend with people off of school Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah. Can you imagine that? All you had to do was go see a movie. They're begging you. If Marvel opened a movie during Easter weekend, they would have broke the record for, it would have been, they made $100 million in the first weekend, like $200 million in the first weekend. Like, how? Exactly.
Yeah. So they're saying it looks like this movie is going to be around 122 million. Like that's how much it's probably it's gonna make. They're saying if it doesn't go full Morbius, where like it has one good weekend and then it completely dies. But yeah, so that's where they're thinking, which is that's a big loss. Big loss. If they only make about 120, 125 million, that's Warner Brothers not happy. They're not happy, And if it doesn't bring people to the theme parks, it's like you have a theme park solely based around this world, and a movie like this should bring people to the theme parks.
I believe
it's not.
TBS special with them, or the HBO Max special with them will bring more people to the theme parks. This movie. Every time I saw that, I was like, "Oh man, I gotta go to the theme park again."
Yeah,
here's a piece of paper with my name on it. Go ahead and write any amount of money, and I'll pay it. Thank you.
Yeah. And one thing I didn't know was, so I rode the train, the Hogwarts Express, from one park to the other. And there's like a whole scene in the windows. It's so freaking cool. Like you see the ghost thingies. I can't think of their names. My brain fart.
Dementors.
Yeah, like and like Harry and the gang. They're outside of your like cabin, and like you see shadows. Right, it's so cool. And even your window looking out like is out into like you see Hogwarts in the background and stuff like that. But if you write it back from Hogwarts to Diagon Alley, it's a different scene, and I didn't know that. So I was like, shit, we need to go back just so I can ride the train again. So yeah. But yeah, just rounding up the top other movies this weekend. Fantastic Beasts, number 1. Number 2 was Sonic. Number 3 was Lost City. Number 4 was Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I think we should do a review on that one pretty soon because people are loving that movie. It actually went up. It went from being 6th last week to being in 4th this week. And then Father Stew and Morbius is still hanging around in number 6. Ambulance, the Batman is still out at number 8, and even Uncharted is at number 10. So No Way Home is still as at 11. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Yep. So
this is interesting.
That rounds it up.
I love the meme when I saw Sonic, stepping on the movie on Dumbledore, on the wand. Yeah,
that's funny.
I haven't seen that one. I've seen the one where he's like the Flash one where he's doing the peace sign and it's Morbius in the background on the tombstone.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Cool. That's it for this one. And then just running it out next week. So next week I'm not going to be here. I'm actually going to Florida, but I'm not going to Universal. So no Harry Potter this time around. But yeah, just Disney. So you guys are going to do some movies next week. I think you guys said The Bad Guys, which is the new animated one coming out, and Massive Talent. Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Massive Talent, yes.
Nicolas Cage. So you guys are gonna do that. So those are gonna be 2 good movies for sure. The Massive Talent one. Cool, man. Anything else, you guys, before we head on out?
Hope just ready to go on see another movie. And if you haven't seen the Thor trailer, see it again. And if you have seen it, see it again.
Yeah. Put it on replay. Put it on replay on your phone. Cool, man. Anything else, Will?
Nah, what Brian said.
Yeah. All right, guys. But cool. Thank you guys for hanging out. I know we have a few people in chat or at least watching, so we appreciate that. If you're just lurking and watching, appreciate you guys. And then Oli, of course, dropping her comment and letting us know what she thought about the movie. So we appreciate that. And then also make sure you go check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/SpoilerKings. Link is in the description. We put a bunch of different news. Like as soon as trailers drop, we throw it on there. A bunch of memes, a bunch of other like random stuff like that. Like Oli just put up a thing on there. Jason Momoa's gonna be in the Minecraft movie, which just sounds funny. I'm like, this can't be real. And she like sent the link. I'm like, holy shit. So we have some fun over there. And then we're on our way to 200. So we're at 179 subs. So we need one more to get to that 180, and then 21 more technically to get to 200, and then we'll do another giveaway. We'll figure something out and do a giveaway. But cool. All right, man. But you guys have fun next week doing your guys' reviews. I'll probably watch on replay for sure. And then while I'm on vacation. But cool. Ready to get on out of here?
Yes.
Yep. And while you're on vacation, we're also going to be reviewing a new episode of Halo, as well as what's the other show?
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight. Yeah.
So this Wednesday,
you're in trouble now. You can come back. Like, what happened, guys? What did you do?
That's all good.
Excellent.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. Now I have you so this Wednesday we're doing Moon Knight and Halo, and then next week you guys are gonna do Moon Knight and Halo again. Which sucks because that'll be episode 5. So it'll be the second to last episode. Because I'm like, there's no way I can miss the last episode of Moon Knight. But yeah, that's the second to last. That'll be episode 5.
Also, 5 is going to set up everything that's going on for 6.
Yeah. That's all right. I'm watching in my jacuzzi in my hotel room.
Not the jacuzzi.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, all right, guys. Cool, man. Yeah, thanks to everyone hanging out, and then we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Later.
Deuces.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We out here.